It's the After the Show podcast, precious.
We don't care, we're about to swear on the air. It's the After the Show, so tune in if you dare. KVJ, get your skate every single day. It's uncensored. We can say what we want to say.
Yeah, hello. Welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Happy Tuesday. Well, everything is marketing these days, and I guess that's why there's no longer a Florida Atlantic University.
FAU is gone?
FAU is gone. They're going to do everything they can to try to erase that from your brain. It is no mas. It is now Florida Atlantic.
Oh, I mean, who gives a shit? Good gosh, what a cock tease.
They say that they want to try to get away from FIU. They don't want to be thought of in the same sentence, which is kind of insulting to Florida International University. So they are not going to be doing any kind of branding or calling themselves FAU anymore, which is kind of a problem because if you look in their football stadium, what they have big and bold is FAU and the old logo that is out there, which they don't plan on changing, but they just don't want you calling them Florida Atlantic University anymore or FAU. That is now no longer going to be referred to in any kind of merch or anything else that they do. If from here on out will never be FAU again or Florida Atlantic University, it's simply Florida Atlantic.
Is this that big of a deal?
No.
Do you give a shit?
No. That's what they do, though. They said that it really stood out to them because there was confusion when they made it to the NCAA Final Four. That people kept saying, oh, that's so awesome, FIU's in it. Like, well, no, FIU's not. We're FAU. And apparently they got so annoyed that they decided to make this what they call strategic adjustment. And they're getting away from it, so it will no longer be officially recognized.
We're the Eagles. What if we just called ourselves Eagles? All right.
It doesn't make that much of a difference to us, but you do you, boo.
Yeah, they said that the new logo and the only one accepted by the university will be the owl head that represents the burrowing owl. So if you remember the logo they used to have on the football helmets, and maybe you don't because you probably never went to a game, it said FAU. So that's gone.
I think owl is a good, worthy mascot. An owl will screw you over with their talons. I think it's a fierce enough animal.
But this is the ground burrowing owl. They're not really intimidating at all.
Is it a weak-ass owl?
It's kind of a weak-ass owl. Yeah.
Are we shaming the owl?
Well, there's some owls that will
real...
fuck your day up, man.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the biggest thing about the owls, I do remember they're like protected. So they used to always have them at Central Park there when we would play softball and Plantation. And they would have big old things around them and you would look and it was, I mean, it looked like a toy. They're maybe, I don't know, 4 inches tall, something like that. It's crazy. 6 tops.
I don't think all owls are created equal. There are some that are big and plump and they are mean.
Yeah, this ain't that kind of owl. This is the pussy owl.
This is the...
I mean, this thing would lose in a fight to a Furby.
Dang.
I'm not kidding. I'm just telling you.
Okay, it sounds like you know a lot about owls, so I'm going to take your word for it.
Yeah, I've seen them up close. Yeah, got all into it. Yeah, they're not the barn owl.
Okay, so that's what I'm talking about.
You're talking about a barn owl, yeah. And those things will snatch up mice and rats in the night with their talons and them just eat their head off.
Yeah, I feel a barn owl, if they all wanted to start taking out humans and turning on humans, I think they could really wreak havoc.
They could, yeah. Ground owl? No, not so much.
Also known as the puss owl.
The pussy owl.
Yeah, that's as far as they went. So anyway, there you go. So they said that they're trying to correct people around campus, which how annoying would that be? They're going, yeah, I'm trying to sign up here at FAU. They're like, it's Florida Atlantic. Wouldn't you be like, fuck off?
Yeah.
I mean, for real. But anyway, that is the new little twist that they're taking. So I guess it'll catch on. Remember when they made Palm Beach College. Is that what it was? Palm Beach State University.
That was stupid too, though.
Yeah.
I think that's dumb.
But I do feel like now, because it used to be burned into my brain, Palm Beach College, PBCC. Remember that community college?
Oh yeah, I still call it that.
Yeah, I've got it to Palm Beach State now. I'm kind of there. Are you there with Palm Beach State, Virginia?
I'm there.
Yeah. So I think, it may take 5 or 10 years, but, one day you'll stop calling it FAU or Florida Atlantic University. It'll just be Florida Atlantic, and it'll feel right to stop there. We want to abbreviate everything, though. You can't abbreviate FA, I guess. So you now have to say Florida Atlantic. All right, I got some other very important pressing issues here. Elena wanted to let me know because yesterday I was talking about my ballot issue. I received my mail-in ballot, which I've been doing for many years now. It's just so much more convenient. And I went to look at my envelope that comes with it, and it was already sealed. And I tried to tactfully open up the envelope without being too messy, and it ripped. I'm like, if I send this back in now, even if I sign over it, it's going to look like somebody tampered with the ballot, and they're going to throw it out. So I'm going to spend all this time researching and being thoughtful and for nothing, right? I don't want to waste time.
No.
Elena said, same thing happened to me. I received my ballot in the mail, and the envelope was already sealed. What the hell, man? What is it? This is going to be the new scandal. I thought the same thing, that they wouldn't count my vote. I emailed my local elections office, and they told me that you can open it and reseal it after they asked me what party I voted for.
Oh, I'm sure.
No,
What?
I'm kidding.
Oh,
What
Kevin.
are you? A Republican? Yeah, no, you're fine. Yeah. Yep, that's cool. Yep, just send that right back in. Yep, not a problem. Yeah, of course we'll count that.
This is how the election gets stolen.
Oh, this is gonna be a fucking nightmare.
It's already a nightmare.
Right, that's why, yeah, so I'm wondering how many other people have an already sealed envelope for their ballot that was sent to them.
If there's already wonkiness going on now,
Oh, yeah. It might become a thing. Who knows? So we'll see. Yeah, I heard we're only 3 weeks away from the election. Gosh, it would be nice to get that whole thing over with, right?
Yeah, but I have a feeling even when it's over, it's not going to be over. I just feel like it's always going to be so dramatic and controversial. And
that's how we go Facebook Live style and talk straight up politics. See what happens.
I'm out.
No.
But deliberately just say wrong shit to get people so fired.
People already do that.
You're right.
I mean, it would just blend right in.
You're totally
There's
right.
nothing unique about that at all.
You are right.
That's every day on there. Jordan said, hey, The Penguin is good, man. It's on Max. It's got Colin Farrell playing the Penguin. He's unrecognizable, and his acting is amazing. Never even really been a huge fan of his. And the woman playing Sophia, Kristen Milioti, is phenomenal. The character and relationship development in the first few episodes is really well done. There are 4 episodes so far, and they are on Sundays at 9 o'clock. You can stream it on Max and a few other platforms. Not Netflix, sorry, V.
Netflix.
And Jordan said, I'm a fan of the Batman storyline, so I am familiar with some of the characters in the series, but you wouldn't necessarily have to be a DC Comics fan to enjoy this show.
I've heard good things about the Penguin.
Really?
Yes, I have. Word of mouth is good on that.
Okay, wow. There is some graphic violence and drug content, so it's not for everyone, but I think a lot of people will enjoy it. Okay. You know, I'm halfway there when it comes to the superhero stuff. If it's well done, I like it. But I'm not going to forgive a lot of really bad stuff like I think some people will, just to kind of get through it. But yeah, those people who are really into it, man.
There's a shit ton of Batman stuff out there.
There is. And some people just absolutely love that concept. And I like it. I really like The Dark Knight, and that was my favorite iteration of it, those 3 movies that were done. But yeah, obviously they like it because they keep making it. So now Game of Thrones fans, man, they are really into it. They just had a heritage auction in Dallas and raised over $20 million in sales.
Wow.
Alone, a replica, not even the original, of the Iron Throne from Game of Thrones went for almost $1.5 million.
A replica went for that?
That's insane.
I don't understand why.
I guess somebody would want to have it, but
couldn't you just make it for way less?
I would imagine somebody that's really crafty could, because it's just twisted metal, basically.
Anything can be replicated.
Right, but you could do it for a lot cheaper than that. Now, if it's the original one, you could always show, yeah, look at this. That's the exact same, but it's not.
Whoever bought that is dumb.
I kind of think so, too.
I mean, stupid dumb.
Jon Snow's sword, Longclaw.
The real one or a replica?
No, I think this might have been the real one. That was
Okay.
$400,000. The Queen of Dragons, her gray suede ensemble, went for $112,500.
Longclaw sounds like a move in the bedroom.
I'm gonna give you the long claw.
Oh, yeah.
Or the
Brace
new,
yourself.
maybe it's the new drink from White Claw. It's real big.
The Longclaw.
Yeah, it's like a.
That'd be a lower alcohol, so you could drink it longer.
Oh, look at that.
Look at you.
And then it makes you want a pork after.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Someone's just looking at pork over
I
here.
know, right? Somebody's got a little case of the hornies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long has it been since you touched a titty?
None of your business.
2 weeks?
None of your business.
3 weeks?
Get out of here.
It was before the Birtle juice, because I don't think you can touch a titty in that outfit.
You'd be surprised, Virginia.
He's right.
There's probably some role playing going on.
Did you power through?
Now get out. Stop. Objection, Your Honor.
Did you power through?
I powered that. I had no choice.
Kept calling his name, but they had to say it 3 times. Oh, Beetlejuice, Birtlejuice, Birtlejuice, Birtlejuice.
And then I come.
Yeah, that was it.
Brr, 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 brr.
That's how it went down. Yeah, baby.
Speaking of Suits, I talked to him yesterday because I had to make sure he was okay. There was a crash, one of the trains up in his area, New Jersey Transit. The conductor died.
Oh, here we
And
go.
so I started texting Suits. I'm like, are you okay? What's going on? He's
Yeah.
fine.
All right, good. I'm glad we got that turned down Depression Boulevard.
He's fine.
Yeah. Struck a fallen tree.
Yeah, there was a tree on the tracks, and the conductor of the train didn't see it. And I guess they hit it, and it flew up and came into the front part of the train and killed the conductor. And people on the train got injured too.
Yeah, 23 passengers.
Dang.
That happened near Philly.
There it is.
That's why I was worried, because our baby's in Philly.
Oh, you know, I'm surprised you didn't wait for Friday for that story.
Well,
Quite heavy.
I like to drop it when it's hot.
You sure do.
Got a cute story about a squirrel now? Okay, we got hit by a car. So traumatic. Here's one for you, Bird. Michael said, I wanted to let Jaybird know that I told someone at work only a Sith speaks in absolutes. They had no idea what I was talking about. But then they quickly let me know, well, I don't really know what your sentence means, but you starting it with the word only at the beginning, that's actually an absolute. So I guess you're a Sith.
Oh, damn, that turned quick.
That's a nice twist, right?
Jedi mind trick in my ass.
That is a Jedi mind trick, dog.
Right on you.
Damn.
We don't. The Jedi suck anyway.
They do?
We like the baddies. We like the villains.
You like the Siths?
Yeah, yeah. Even in, I think I like that just in typical programming. I think I always like the villains. I think they make the show good. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that I agree with how they act, but Scar
You've evolved as a purveyor of entertainment.
is, like, for example, Scar's a terrible, he killed the fucking Lion King, but you need Scar. He's such a dick,
Yeah.
a great dick.
Otherwise, you'd just be all happy, right?
We don't want that.
It would be all Hakuna Matata, technically.
You're wow, very, very corny.
Very corny. And something else Jaybird would be into, Bigfoot. Aubrey, she took her 6-year-old to the Spirit of Bigfoot Festival in Greenville, Ohio. It was
Wow.
a blast.
They love Bigfoot up there in Ohio, man.
They do. They got nothing else to do, though. So there you go. That's her 6-year-old. He's right there by a plaster cast of a Bigfoot.
Good idea. Great activity for the kids.
Wow.
2 police officers who are cryptozoologists. They learned how to make casts of Bigfoot prints. We listened to them share insane stories about their own Bigfoot and Dogman encounters. My son was hooked, and so am I. I'd love for Jaybird to talk about the land between the lakes on his Weird and Whatever podcast.
Oh, okay. I love it.
They showed me pictures of deer carcass that was halfway up a pine tree. A Bigfoot print in the grass, a paw print of a massive canine-type animal. He said there have been UFO sightings in that area, too.
Dogman. I don't know if you guys know about Dogman.
We don't, but I have a feeling you're about to tell us.
Well, I could tell you, or our sweet Denny's could tell you about it because I made him do a rap song about Dogman, and he had to do it for Weird and Whatever.
Dogman rap
There's
song?
a Dogman rap song?
Denny's did a Dogman rap song, and
Do you have this piece of musical magic?
I don't know, but it needs to be heard more.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where he so did not want to do it.
Did he do it?
Was it
Yeah.
set to Drake's Jumpman? Because that would actually work out.
That would work.
If you know the song Jumpman, you'd be like, you could easily make that Dogman.
But there's places here in the States where they believe in a Dogman.
Okay.
All over the
Yeah.
world, there's these crazy creatures that you may not know of them, but the Dogman is big in their area.
In rural areas where they have nothing going on and they're very bored,
He's right.
they have a lot of these kind of things going on.
You got to do something to entertain the mind.
You do.
Well, that's probably why they've got the pencil sharpener museum in Logan. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's a little
Right.
nichey thing.
You need something. Yeah, that's anything to boost tourism in there, because why else would you go? They also talked about the missing 411 from national state parks. Would be an interesting topic for Weird and Whatever. Okay. Yeah.
I love it.
All right. Now, you were talking about some friends that were having a discussion about going camping at a murder site.
Oh.
Yeah, well, his wife, some guy I know from I played baseball with. It's his wife loves the macabre. She loves death stuff. She's into all that, and
Is that like corn on macabre?
yes, she really likes death, and they wanted to go camping. She wants to go to a camping site where a family got murdered,
Oh,
and she
hell
wants to go
no.
there because of that.
What is the matter with her?
I know it's a thing, though. There are some people that have that little weird kink about them.
Stop.
He doesn't want to do it.
He's right.
She thinks he's being a little bitch.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Virginia?
I think she is pushing it. I mean, if you want to do that, go. Do it on your own. But don't make somebody who is afraid of doing that go. That's a bully.
Well, her whole thing is, well, what's going to happen? We're going to go out there and what, you're going to get murdered? You're
It's
scared.
just creepy. He doesn't want to be creeped out and scared.
That's like that Blair Witch Project movie.
Yeah, fuck that movie too. That movie's scary too.
Yeah.
That movie's whack.
The woods, and you are right to that point. I mean, I grew up in that rural area, where they're talking about with the Bigfoot and all that stuff. And there was a lot of weird, scary stuff. She talked about the story about the deer carcass halfway up a tree. There were always stories coming out of the woods, stuff like that. And it is something about the woods and all that. And I remember we had a lot of devil worshippers in our area, and so you would find all kinds of weird carcass stuff and things like that I guess were part of rituals.
Can you think of anything more horrifying than a madman with an axe out in the woods? It's the stuff of nightmares. That they just walking into the woods with a murderer.
With an axe
It's
that
the-
wants to kill you. That's the scariest.
And there's so many of these stories and documentaries where you're watching. They always love going to the woods in real life. They
Oh, yeah.
love to go to the woods, and you go, my goodness, it's just fucking scary.
Our devil worshippers, they wore goat heads.
oh my gosh.
You want to make that a little scarier?
Out in the woods.
In the woods. Yeah.
No, thank you.
And the part that's always terrible or terrifying to listen to, especially if somebody gets out of the situation, they'll talk about their experience and they go, I got a funny feeling when he made a left-hand turn down this road that I knew I wasn't going home now. And then they realize they're going out to the woods
Yeah.
to face evil.
Yeah.
Horrifying.
No,
And that's when you got to get out of that vehicle
I agree.
by any means necessary.
Then you look over and there's no door handles. Is this thing on? Yeah.
I think I try to get his eyes out.
You got to.
I go for the eyes.
Man
I think
can't see.
A
Man
man
can't
can't
fight.
see. A man can't fight. I think that is probably the smartest thing you can do, even more than the nuts. And I love kicking nuts, but you got to go for the eyes.
Yeah, but you do have to legit realize, sometimes you get way back in those woods and there are some crazy mountain people. And you need to be packing if you're going back there. That'd be the only way I would go. I would sleep right if everybody had a gun. Well, I don't know. You don't want the trigger happy people with a gun, but if I had somebody responsible with a gun, I'd consider it.
So do you think there's parts, at least in the United States, where you would drive to a remote mountain area, the woods, and you would find mountain people that would be mad and attack you?
If you went to my Hocking County in the Hocking Hills, yeah, I could probably, I can't remember the name of the road, but I could find it for you. That it was called Hanging Rock, and it was a rock, and the devil worshippers would take their staffs and they would lean them up there, talking about the moons. And
Charging them.
They believed the moons charged it. And I remember we went out there, us little dumb fucks one time, and I remember it was Seth Palmer. Somebody was going up there and we were daring somebody to touch one of the staffs, and we were all freaked out. I remember somebody went up there, I can't remember what it was, it might have been RJ, and he went up there and Seth shoved him and he fell and knocked over all the staffs, and we started freaking out. And then this truck started coming down the hill.
It's a movie.
Leatherface.
And no, we got out. I was so freaked out. I looked up, and it was somebody had taken a pickup truck and they turned it into a tow truck. You ever seen the hook from a tow truck?
Yes.
It was that. It was a shitty old truck, and it had that in the back of it. I was cowering on the ground. I looked up. Somebody's like, they got on goat heads, and this truck was trying to run us off the fucking road, of this country road, and we were driving for our lives in a fucking minivan.
And they had goat heads on?
That's what I was too scared. I didn't even look. But I know the two people. I was just looking at the person driving, and they were white as a ghost. And we finally got to the main highway, and the truck turned off on another country road and didn't follow us all the way into town.
And did somebody say, and cut? Because it does. It sounds like a movie. It's Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
My town is like that. And yeah, I could point you in that. I would assume, because it came from down a hill. So I would assume that they live up there and probably saw the headlights. And they run protection on it. And if you go out there. So yeah, if you want a fun little night to go out and mess with hillbillies that would kill you.
Hillbillies that will kill you, man.
Yeah, they do. My dad, he did criminal law there, and he had some cases. I remember his last one was two guys got some mountain meth, and I think they were just killing each other and eating each other. It was
eating
horrific.
Each other?
It was horrific. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was insane. Yeah, like I'm saying, you get in the woods and the mountains, and there's some odd things that happen in those little towns.
That's when you know it is the good meth, or the bad meth, I should say.
What kind of buzz are you looking for?
You're eating somebody alive.
Yeah.
And you both are going back at it.
It was horrific. Yeah, they were, I think, hacking each other. I can't remember what it was. I'll have to look it up. But yeah,
horrifying.
There were some twisted things that happened in my town. Yeah. So yeah, going out there in the woods in the middle of nowhere where there's a murder site, I don't know, man. I don't feel like pushing it, because there are just some twisted people. They make movies of them, but because they're out so rural, nobody really ever comes across them.
Well, it's really what Texas Chainsaw Massacre is about. You go out in the middle of nowhere, and you've got this crazy family that hacks you up.
Well, they're just people that don't like people, and so thankfully, they go as far away from humanity as they can, but then when humanity wanders out to them...
You're right. My dad told me a story back when he was living in Pennsylvania. He was out in the middle of nowhere and pulled into a house because he was lost, and he was just pulling in to back out. And he said somebody flew out of that house with a gun quick, and he had to back out because that maybe they are, to your point, they don't want people around. Maybe they've been attacked before, but he was scared.
There's that teenage girl last year. Remember that? She was in a car with some other teenagers, and they pulled into the wrong driveway, and the guy came out and blasted the car, and she died.
Yeah,
I do remember that.
I do too.
That's not a shocking thing from that area. There are people that will just come out and shoot first and ask questions later. Like, this is my land. They don't want humans around.
Makes me never want to do Uber Eats.
Uber Eats
makes me not ever want to do that. Just I would be nervous to walk up to doors.
Honestly, I don't think my town has Uber Eats. I would be shocked. I mean, maybe in town, but yeah, when you deal with a small town, you have the townies, and then you have the people, the country folk. So if you live in a small area, we don't have that pretty much here in South Florida. But yeah, my town, you would have the people who lived in town, and then you had the people that lived out, and it would take 25, 30 minutes driving country roads to get to their house. So it was pretty crazy. Yeah, small towns out in rural areas, man, they get nuts. And that's how they wind up with Bigfoot stories and all that kind of stuff.
Well, if you're in the middle of nowhere and you're not expecting company and all of a sudden someone pulls up in your driveway, I get how that can make you a little uneasy if you're not expecting anybody.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. It happens. Did you hear this story that just happened in Colorado? There was this freezer at this home that was just sold to this couple, and they went and found the head and hands of a 16-year-old girl who was last seen in 2005.
Oh,
in the
What?
freezer.
In the freezer?
In the freezer.
the freezer.
Yeah.
Whose house was it?
What it says the remains were identified as Amanda Lorelei Overstreet through DNA testing. She had not been seen or heard of since April of 2005. There's no record that she was ever reported missing.
What?
Overstreet was the biological daughter of the previous owner of the home, and the circumstances surrounding her disappearance remain under investigation.
Wow.
It was their own daughter in the freezer?
Might have been.
I'm looking at I'm checking it out right now. Very creepy. Wow, that's a creepy podcast, Kev. I love it.
Well, it's Halloween season.
Oh, yeah.
So, we got to kind of go a little bit deeper in some of the horrifying stuff. It's a good time to get out of your system.
You're right.
Yeah. So do it now, because you can't do this around Christmas.
You're right. We're kind of balls deep in Halloween season.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in it. I got thrown off by the damn tornadoes.
Right.
I had my whole entire lawn was decorated, ready for Halloween. Then I had to pick it all up and put it in the garage. I just haven't had time to put it back out yet.
That's a terrible story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Again, rural areas, things happen, people disappear.
That's what's tough too. Is if no one knows you're missing, you can be missing for a long time.
Well,
Yeah.
your parents put you in the freezer. If they don't report you missing, who's going to report you missing?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some creepy stories out there where people killed someone in their family, then they buried them in the backyard, and then they put concrete over the grave site, and you never would know.
Yeah.
And now they barbecue on top of it.
You could be at someone's house eating a burger and sitting on someone's grave.
That's why you don't go eat at somebody's house who lives in the country.
You got me all ginned up with the Halloween talk.
Creepy.
Yeah. There is a lot of it out there. Well, here we go. Nice transition. Andrew's going to Bud's Chicken and Seafood and wants to know what to eat.
Oh. I had the fried scrimps the other day at
Okay.
Bud's. They're so good. I got the bird sauce for my little corn fritters.
Yeah.
Definitely do corn fritters. You got to get the corn fritters. I love them so much.
The bird sauce now has a label on the top of it. It now says the bird sauce.
Oh, it's awesome. Good.
So you know it's named after our boy, the bird.
Okay. I do know that the brownies are amazing. You don't skimp on the dessert.
Caitlin likes the brownies, right?
We had them at Caitlin's 21st birthday party, and it was, everybody loved everything, but it was such a hit, those brownies. And then Bud's last year, my son's high school football team, they catered one of the team meals, and those brownies, again, went nuts for them.
Their pasta salad is delicious. The mac and cheese is delicious. I love everything.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it's so good.
Brandon hit me up we were talking yesterday about convenience stores, and he said, I think you left Ohio before they started populating, but now in this part of the world, we have Sheetz, Sheetz, out of Pennsylvania. It's kind of comparable to Wawa, but I think it might be better. More food and made to order is kind of their thing. Okay.
I got to go to Wawa. I haven't been there in a minute.
I think Wawa does it made to order, don't they? Yeah. Rocco gets stuff from Wawa all the time.
Yeah, they make it there. I'm pretty sure they do. I'm pretty sure I see them make the sub.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta go there.
Sheetz is an odd name, though. I don't know. Even if my name was Sheetz, I don't know if I'd want sheets on it.
He sheets his pants a lot.
Right. Come try our food.
We like to sheet our pants.
Yeah, it's just that it's almost kind of too close.
I agree.
Yeah, not a big fan of that. And earlier on the regular show, we were talking about where people are set and what they fear most about storms these days and hurricanes. And boy, after what we just saw, the tornado effect, how many people were saying, yeah, that's first thing on my mind. And I was telling you the story about the one person in St. Lucie County that their house was hit by the tornado. And they said, yeah, I didn't hear that train like people say. It sounds like a locomotive coming at you. Didn't have that. They were just talking about how it felt like it got cooler. And it's almost like you could feel the pressure dropping, getting tighter. You know, like when you're in a plane or you're in an elevator and you just kind of feel it and your ears kind of pop. Got a text that said, yeah, in 2010, a tornado hit the North Palm Beach County Airport where I worked. I remember my boss saying her ears popped right before the tornado hit.
Really?
Uh-huh. So kind of a note that if we ever are faced with what we got just a week or so ago, from my personal experience, I've been within a mile of 3 tornadoes in Florida, and I can say they all had constant lightning, 10 to 20 seconds apart, Chris said.
That's an uneasy feeling when you almost kind of lose your stomach a little bit when the air drops down. It's the same feeling you get when you jump out of a plane. They open the plane door up and it kind of catches your breath up. You know, it's weird.
Well, it's an odd feeling, and we pick it up. And now I've seen so many photos of the cruise ships that were out there, and birds were freaking out and flying into cabins, and birds were just flying right into the ship. They were disoriented, trying to get away from storm. They were freaking out, and on this cruise ship there were dead birds all over the deck.
Oh, geez.
Oh, I mean, it looked like a horror movie. It was crazy, and I think that's probably it. You know what we're talking about here, the birds feel the barometric pressure changing and dropping, and they know. They're like, this is not good, this is bad news.
I'd imagine the birds probably know quicker than any other animal that shit's about to go down. If we're talking about weather,
yeah, they've said that with tsunamis, that was how one person knew. I think it was maybe 2010. Is that the year that terrible tsunami happened? And somebody was staying there and they saw all the animals beelining for the hill. And they're like,
whoa.
Yeah, they kind of stood there for a second. They're like, I don't know what they're running for, but have you ever seen that where you
just start running with them?
Imagine that. Yeah, if you're in a crowd of people and they all start running, you have no idea what it is, but you're going to take off running too. Because you're like, okay, they are downwind of something I don't know.
They talk about that where people that go through a tsunami, sometimes they don't know what's happening, and they almost become hypnotized looking at the ocean, confused, thinking, what's going on right now? And they don't hightail it out of there. They stick around.
Yeah, they've had the rookies. I had seen that. There was a video just this week where somebody was there and they saw the ocean going out, and they're like, all right. And they were smart. They started beating cheeks. And so they were kind of filming as they were running behind them, and you could see the water come in, and so many people didn't know. They were just standing like,
well, we got to make sure we film, too.
Right, the wall, and they just go, whoosh, just got washed out, and they kept running about 3 city blocks in, and they just outran the water.
All right, so we see a pack of animals starting to run out of the blue. We're running with the animals, right? We run where they're going. They know something we don't.
Yeah, I think so.
Be as the cheetah.
Unless they're flying into a glass window, then I'm like, all right, well, I'm not going to do that.
Well, those birds are just dumb.
Yeah.
We got some dumb fuck birds around here.
Yeah.
And don't make any jokes. I'm talking about myself. I'm talking about the ones outside our house or our work building.
But to an extent, yeah, you do want to kind of get an idea of what's going on with the animals, and that's usually a tell, as if they're acting all weird, something might be going on. And Ryan said, yeah, I got stuck in a tornado on Forest Hill Boulevard, I-95 a while back, and it looked like a flock of birds just flying in a circle.
Whoa.
So, yeah, I wonder if they get caught up in it or what's going on. How soon do they know? Because I imagine if you get really bad weather like that, they start to get nervous. Because it's not like they totally know what's going on.
So if you're at your house chilling on your bed and a tornado goes through your house, through your room, are you without a doubt pretty much fucked, or is there a chance it can go through you, just rough you around a little bit and you're okay? Or
it just depends. I mean, there's so many variables and factors as to what happens. What kind of projectiles do you have around you? What could be going on?
Because when you see footage of a tornado, it just looks like it sucks up houses. It just goes right through like a buzzsaw.
Well, I think they describe it more, not necessarily it picks them up, and it's like a blender. It's like putting a house in a blender. And you look at the remnants of what's left, and it looks like you put a house in a blender.
That's horrifying.
It really is.
Insane. Yeah, it's completely insane. I remember my one buddy that we were talking about today that had the crazy girlfriend lit his clothes on fire. He was in Hurricane Andrew, and he and his mom were huddled up in a closet, and a big old snake came through the house, went right between their heads and out the back of the closet. If either one of them were just, 3-4 inches in either direction, they're catching that stake in the head.
That's some Final Destination shit right there.
Yeah, it is.
Right. So that's the kind of stuff you just don't know. That's one of the X variables of, okay, what's the projectiles? That's why to be a cool neighbor, you're getting all your projectiles out of the yard so it doesn't go flying through your neighbor's house.
Well, you know how they say, go to the most interior room of your house and close all the doors and try to protect yourself? Well, should you now start building in the most interior space in your house, like a little, I don't know, 5 feet by 5 feet room where it's just cinder block?
Oh, I'm so fucked. I have so many projectiles. I'm going to get killed by one of my figures.
He took a Yoda to the jugular.
Right to the temple.
Imagine what that's going to look like for miles.
Oh, my God.
There's going to be figurines within a 20-mile radius
He
of his
had a
house.
Yoda in his neck and a dinosaur head up his ass.
Oh, if a tornado hit my yard, I am fucked. Yeah. I'll be dead.
He got impaled.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows? Every time there is a storm, it changes the building codes. And I was looking at some drone footage of Siesta Beach, Siesta Key, and on the West Coast. And you could see all the old stuff destroyed. The newer stuff looked like it held up okay. But even then, there looked like a newer home, probably built within the last 5 years, that still was missing a whole wall, side of the house. And so they'll probably even up that. And I think that's the biggest challenge is you're trying to innovate past Mother Nature. And then as we keep getting these storms, you're saying, okay, how can we build bigger, stronger? And that might be something in the future in South Florida homes that you have a room that might almost have metal.
Right.
I don't even know if I'd trust cinder blocks, to be honest with you, with some projectiles. Might cut right through cinder blocks. So maybe it would be full out metal or something like that you would go to.
Maybe Teflon.
Just be clear with your direction.
No, what Kevlar?
Kevlar.
Mm-hmm.
Be sure what you say with the metal. You go in there and all of a sudden a metal band's in
Yeah,
there
people
playing.
don't like Teflon. Yeah. So who
Kevlar
knows?
Kev.
Yeah, it's kind of a tough
You
name.
could make
isn't
your
it?
own brand.
Kevlar Kev. That's a good name.
Kev. Yeah, it would be Kevlar. Like that'd be people think my last name's Lar. First name Kev.
I don't know. Lar kind of sounds dicky though. Lar. It makes me think of Lars
But
from
this is kind of a
Metallica.
dicky product,
Yeah.
though.
It's a dicky product. He's making a Kevlar room.
You want to make it aggressive. It's going to sell better.
You're
it's
right.
aggressive. It's strong. It's impenetrable.
Because if you're fighting back, you want a dick on your side.
exactly.
You do want a dick on your side.
Yeah. Because that dick could go somewhere else. And you don't want that. You want it right by your side. That's our ad slogan for Kevlar.
I like that.
Or the dick right beside you.
That's right. We'll be your dick right beside you. That could actually work. Who knows? All right, y'all. Thank you for the email. Send them in to us. Mail at kvjshow.com. Enjoy your Tuesday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.